My name is Nibras, as you can see on the screen. I'm a qualified chartered accountant from Pakistan, and I qualified my chartered accountancy back in 2009 from KPMG. That's where I started my career as well. I was in financial advisory services over there, and there I was looking into mergers and acquisition advisory and consultancy. From KPMG, I moved into PepsiCo. That was my first industry move and first and the only industry move. And I joined in 2014. And ever since then, I've been working in various functions within PepsiCo in planning, as well as budgeting, as well as FP&A, and some work on transformation and restructuring as well. But I moved to Dubai in 2018. So it was like an internal move within PepsiCo, and I moved into the sector HQ office in Dubai. And here I'm looking into FP&A for AMESA sector. The general perception is that chartered accountancy is a very male-dominated profession. And B, it's a very difficult profession to do. So there is still a big, a lot of people think out there that it is almost an impossible profession to do, and it's almost impossible to qualify chartered accountancy, because I do believe that like some of the people have created this image based upon their own experiences, but this is not always true. So the reason why I chose this field was because of my family. My father was a chartered accountant, but initially I didn't myself want to be one, but my mother pushed me to, explore this career. And once I started doing it and I started really enjoying it, and luckily I'm one of those people who are able to qualify in the first attempt as well. So regarding those people who feel that chartered accountancy is an impossible field to do, so it is not at all true. So if you work hard and if you are committed enough, I believe you can achieve anything in your life. So it's more about, having that passion, having that commitment towards any goal that you set in your life. And regarding the male dominance, it's very, very true, because when I was in KPMG, and especially during when I was on some of the assignments, there were times when I was sitting in the room and we were working on a project, and there were like 40 other guys in the room, and I was the only female around. And I was at that time like in a position, so I was like, at a managerial position at that time, and some of them were reporting into me. So I had to, while being able to deliver the results, I was supposed to be in that assertive position where I was supposed to deliver, the project and take work out of other people as well. So yes, it is male dominated, but being a female, that doesn't make you any less. It's more about you finding your voice, you knowing your facts right, you knowing when to say what, when to say no, when to, deal with different sorts of issues when it comes to, your work, keep yourself updated with latest stuff. And yeah, so it's more about, it's more of a person thing to me. It's not more about a male or a female, because honestly, this gender discrimination kind of a thing, I feel if you are strong enough, and if you know what you're doing, and if you know what you are saying, there are people out there who listen to you and who respect you for what you are, irrespective of the fact that whether you're a guy or a girl. So it's not easy, obviously. And, at times I do feel that even girls out there, they at times are thinking that being a girl, they will take advantage of being a girl as well, right? So they would say that, okay, they will do less hours just because they're girls. And at the same time, there's another guy who's doing like full hours or putting in extra effort just because people think that, hey, he's a guy, he does have a family, but for him, that is not as important as that being for a girl. So that's, I think, an important thing that even, girls need to understand, especially in our profession, like in such professions which do demand some tough deadlines and timelines for which you have to work and go an extra mile, that you cannot just, play the female card when it comes to taking, an advantage of something. So you have to really put in an effort, and you have to prove yourself as well. It's both for guys and girls. It's not just for girls, but for girls, obviously, it's definitely very important that they forget about the fact that they're a girl or a guy, and they just go out there as a professional and mark their words. I am the only daughter. I have three brothers. And my mother in particular, so I lost my father at a very early age, and my mother was a single parent, and she in particular was like very, very touchy about me traveling alone or traveling abroad, and and especially when it comes to career. So for me, but at the same time, I was just trying to make the best out of what I had available, right? So I never stopped working hard just because of the fact that my mother, I may have like to make an extra effort in order to convince my family to let me go abroad and work over there. And then obviously, like, and even in my family, they're not like, there are some girls who are doing well in their professional life, but not all the girls. Like most of the girls in my family are like that, okay, we have done a reasonable education, now we will get married and just stay at home and, do that sort of a work. So for me, it has always been that, if you put in so much effort in your education, you have put in so much hard work in your career and everything, so you have to take it forward with you, because this is your own identity. It makes you what you are. So you should not be dependent upon somebody else. Like it's great that your husband is supportive or your family is supportive, but you should not be dependent upon them in order to to say what you are, to define your personality. So in order to find your own personality, and in order to have something for your own self, it's definitely, there are times when you have to be strong and make the best out of the available resources. And as far as my move to Dubai was concerned, so it was basically, I got like married in 2018. So I moved to Dubai post getting married. But it was interesting. So my goal was never to, get married and move to like, a different country and stuff like that. So it was more like so luckily my husband is also a chartered accountant. So once I started talking to him, I made it very clear for him that, hey, for me, my career is also important. So if after we get married, if I don't find a role in Dubai, like very soon, I'll continue to work for my role in PepsiCo in Pakistan, because it's amazing. I'm getting a career growth. I'm getting like, what I need, and I'm happy doing that. So, and he was really supportive of that. He was like, yes. I mean, okay, you do like what is best for you. But then luckily I found this role within PepsiCo, and then I moved to Dubai, and like right at the time of my marriage. And for those girls, like you rightly said, that they're not always, blessed enough that their families are supportive and they don't have the resources and everything. So I would just say that we should never lose hope, and we should continue to work and make the best out of the resources that are available for us. So because, the first person and the first barrier that you have towards you is yourself. So that is the first thing that you need to overcome. So first you need to convince yourself that, hey, I am good enough, I can do this. So, okay, if I prove myself and if I do well enough, other people eventually, sooner or later, they will support you some way or the other. So you just have to, hang in there, try to, make those alliances, take your family in confidence, tell them regarding like what you are up to, what are your ambitions, what are your goals, and what do you want out of your life. And sooner or later, I believe, we can get that support. It's more about, first convincing yourself that I want to do this. So there is definitely like a big difference. So the first difference being obviously security, because in Pakistan, like when I was like even working in the firm, or even in the, when I moved to industry, like in PepsiCo, so there were times when you have to like sit late in office as well for work, or even if you're going out like with your family or your friends and you're hanging out, like you're outside of your home for like late at night. So you do face some security issues, and you have to be like very, very careful. You should know your route, and you should always be careful. But one of the best things about living in Dubai is the safety and security. So over here, even at like 3 a.m., if you are out there on your own, nobody will, bother you, because the laws over here are very, very strong. And people are scared that if somebody bothers you, that, they will have to face the repercussions. So that is, I think, the first and the most important thing. The other thing in UAE is the multinational and the multicultural environment that you get. So I'm working for an MNC, and I have like people from different backgrounds and different cultures working in my organization, and which are a part of my team. So I have people from Europe, Americas, India, different cultures, and Egypt. So different people from across the globe working for me. So you learn, like, at one time you're working with them, but at the same time you learn a lot about other people and their lives and their cultures, like, what they think, what they feel, what is their view about different things. So you learn a lot, you grow as a person, because there are things when, like, living in Pakistan, you're not aware of these things unless you travel abroad, you interact with these people, and especially working with these people and living in that environment, that teaches you a lot. So I believe that's the second most important point. And yeah, the third one is that obviously, like, back in Pakistan, you have like a whole family support system. You have your family, you have your parents, you have your brothers, you have everybody who's there to, be there for you, to help you out. You have, little or no a worry about, the housework and things like that. But in the way, obviously, you become more independent. You have to do things on your own. You have to settle on your own. And you may not be able to see your family very often as you used to see. So that's one thing which is more like towards the con side. But definitely there's a lot of positives of moving outside Pakistan. Yeah. So my closing remarks, I would just like, because one of the topics that I wanted to discuss was women empowerment. And I think we have discussed a little bit about it in the way when we were discussing my journey with everyone. So on this one, I believe, like, whenever it comes to women empowerment, one of the key important things are that what we as women are bringing to the world. Obviously, the most important thing, like, from our family and the society side, the thing that they can give to us is a very good, is good education, and obviously good upbringing. So obviously these things are important. But when it comes to women, and when it comes to especially women in the corporate culture, it is very important that we as women become a support system for other women around us. And I've seen, like, some of the women, when they become, when they get this position of power, being assertive is one thing, but being aggressive is a different thing. So at times women tend to, just because, they feel that they are women, and in order to prove their point, they feel that, okay, they have to be a little aggressive in their approach. So I feel that, yeah, when it comes to, finding your voice and making a point across, it's important that you consider that the other person is there as well. You need to listen to their points as well, and you need to respect their point of view as well, while being reasonably assertive whenever it's needed. And being women, obviously, we can be like a good support system for each one of us. We should be there to look out for each other. And definitely we should consider the difference between equality and equity. So when it comes to, gender equality, it means that everybody is getting the same thing. Like, if a guy is going out there working as a construction worker, a woman should do the same. But obviously there's some physical, the way we are structured, biologically, the way we are, we cannot really do all the kind of things that the guys are doing. Rather, we should look for gender equity, which means fairness. So whenever it comes to even work and job and, allocating resources, so we should always consider the point of fairness, irrespective of the fact that whether somebody is a guy or a girl. So that's, I believe, is my closing message. Yeah, Musa.
That's great. I guess that a lot of value has been taken from your discussion, as a lot of women across the globe. I was surprised actually that we are doing a show for Pakistan and only Pakistani audience will hear you. But I'm surprised to see the registration that there are people in Australia, in US, in Canada, all across the globe. They are really excited to hear a Pakistani women. And I guess that you are a great role model for the upcoming chartered accountant girls who want to move to any country. And you guys are the ambassadors in Dubai for us. And I'm sure that the society is getting a great value. And on the other side, you are also contributing to the society. With this, I want to thank you for joining us today, and I'm looking forward to have you in my other series of shows for your sharing of thoughts.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Musa Shaikh, for having me. Thank you.